Hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 12, Week 6. This is Game 2 of Baby Shlark versus My
Yep.
Beautiful Dark Willow Twisted Fantasy.
Willow
Now,
forfeit game 1.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you're looking for Game 1 and you're lost, don't worry, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, you're immediately getting rid of the Pit Lord there. Ramanolo arguably had probably the best week, his best week this entire tournament, maybe second only to Week 1, on the Bitlord in the last week, so no surprise it's getting knocked out here.
10 seconds remaining.
It's a very do-or-die situation for Willow Twisted Fantasy. I believe if they don't win this game, they are completely ineligible for the ladder.
Yeah. It's true.
Not sure
Even
how
if
it
they
goes for
do
Baby
win, they're just even if they do win, they're just giving
Tiebreaker
themselves like
eligible.
a chance next week.
Right. Very high stakes in the last 2 weeks of this tournament, certainly. Lord Witch Doctor also getting knocked out. It's very interesting, the knockout of the Witch Doctor, because I feel like, genuinely, has Witch Doctor won a match in this tournament? I think he's actually at genuinely 0% success rate.
By the way, don't S Cool Rat give worse Mista.
Yeah. Dude, we're only getting to see that once this week.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a big shame.
5 seconds remaining.
Thinking about this one. Fleshing out the lineup probably.
Dire team pick.
First pick is Neek's Assassin. It's kind of a rare first pick, I think. Likely going to see that on Roxy. Probably pause 4 Neeks. That seems to be the favorite position for him generally. It is very interesting, because on one hand, I do feel like having the opportunity to support counter Neeks, you can definitely counter Neeks in the support picks alone, right? Or like with a 3. Like Willow would be very good at countering the Neeks Assassin, for example. Nothing sucks more as Neeks and getting randomly fear bombed, and nothing sucks more as Neeks and getting put in the arena because Ramanolo will just not stop playing Marv no matter what.
Willow on Willow.
Oh yeah, that's true. Namesake hero there. Now all we gotta get is Shlark on Baby Shlark.
Yeah.
Maybe buy him another H.
10 seconds
You know, it's a must-win game. You pick your namesake.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Life Stealer out here to steal a little bit of the fun.
Dire team
Certainly going to be our Respect the Pouch hero. Immediately banning Razor to follow. I will say, I do feel like, I've mentioned before, and I'll say it again, I do feel like maybe Baby Shlark's biggest weakness as a team, perhaps, is going to the well a little too often on the Life Stealer.
10 seconds
I feel like
remaining.
Respect the Pouch very, like, definitely has a lesser opinion of themselves than reality actually shows, I think. Definitely seem to think, I'm a one-trick pony on Lifestealer. We've definitely seen a lot of times this tournament that's not the case, so a very early Lifestealer pick definitely seems like that could backfire.
I think that's the combo with the Nyx alone, or
Probably.
they pull out like a Spirit Breaker too. Maybe.
It's probably, at the very least, it's going to be comboing with the Nyx right now.
Yeah.
It's always reality versus, you know, desire in a draft phase. You know, you can even want to say, oh, we'll get him with Spirit Breaker and then just have him banned. No Vipe Stealer. Getting rid of all the guys who were super annoying back when I started the game.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, not all the guys, because Lifestealer did get through. We're getting rid of Viper at least.
5 seconds remaining.
Vipe Stealer is a stronger combo than it looks on paper, because Viper, with an additional lot of HP from Lifestealer jump inside of him, has a lot to say in a fight, and cumulatively, Lifestealer basically takes away your ability to cast, on him, offensively anyway. Viper takes away your passes. They block out quite a large amount when you're just kind of worrying about the pause 1 here. Ember Spirit is banned. They know
There
Iceman
is-
has been playing a ton of Ember Spirit recently, so they do not want to see a ton
That's
more.
true. He's a great life stealer ag shard, okay?
Alright.
If you press rage when you're inside someone, they get magic immunity. It's great.
5
Flawless.
seconds remaining.
That will be...
Broken? Yes.
yeah. Could be interesting as an Ags period, just because Ags is a higher sort of entry cost there. As a shard, not so much. And it'd also get rid of everybody's favorite skill, Open Wounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I feel works fine as Lifestealer Shard. On paper, Open Wounds looks like it sucks ass, but in combination with the other passives Lifestealer has, especially the passive that he got in place of Open Wounds, actually works better than you would think in practice. Plus, it's something that I think gives him sort of utility if you're going to look for him in like a pause 3 roll. Since, you know, you open wound somebody and then your pause 1 comes in and gets like 100% of their HP bar off of somebody. Especially better with a higher attack speed sorts of guys. Like, it works really well with one of the best possible, actually, combinations of people. Lifestealer Ursa, if you're going to be running Lifestealer as a 3. Open Wounds is great for Ursa. He gets a load of HP back on anybody he's beaten up. And of course, Lifestealer helps him
5
eat up
seconds
Roche.
remaining.
And one of Ursa's biggest problems is kind of getting whittled down over the course of a longer fight, and Lifestealer helps you get rid of that with being able to infest him. A lot of good sync there. Also helps him avoid getting kited as well. Though you have to get that shard fast, or else it's just going to be 2 people getting kited every fight, but you know.
I'm thinking hard about this one.
They better be.
Radiant team pick.
Baneful visions upon you. That's a very good response to Lifestealer
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Dang.
Oh, okay.
No clue where Abaddon's gonna go so far. They're very much a flex pick, likely 3 so far.
Depends on our next pick, I suppose.
10
Abaddon,
seconds remaining.
like I said before, like I'll say again, most of the heroes that go well with Mars and heroes that counter Mars Venn diagram is nearly a perfect circle. Abaddon is somewhere in that circle for sure. Both a great fighter within the arena, one of the guys who can definitely help you take out anybody in there. Also, great guy to just sit inside the arena itself and just tank things up, waste the whole thing. A Photic shield on somebody else in there, you know.
Right.
Certainly enjoys playing with or against Mars. I believe he can also Photic off the spear stun, which is just another annoying thing for Mars to have to deal with. Also has
Sure
can deal with a lot of the things Bane brings to the table as well. Though not the Enfeeble, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, being able to purge off Fiend's Grip is pretty
Always
pretty
good.
wacky. Yeah.
Actually makes the Fiend's Grip very much a lose-lose situation, because you Fiend's Grip Abaddon, dang. You Fiend's Grip somebody else, shield. Very good counter here. The only person who really struggles that much against is Willow, and even then he has some answers to that. Getting the Spirit Breaker up, that really does not answer the question of what Abaddon's going to be doing.
I think it does actually, because Nyx is confirmed 4, so
Abaddon 5 then?
SP3. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Not my
remaining.
favorite place for Abaddon to be. I think like he needs a little bit more money and levels than 5 gives him to do that well. Feel like 4 is usually your minimum. But if you literally just have him up for a Photic shield, then it's not that bad. Just, if you're going to get Abaddon literally just for a Photic shield, you should have gone Oracle, I think. Because Oracle can also purge things just as well, if you remember that he has that capability. And
Alright,
brings
Weaver.
a little more in that pause 5 capacity. Weaver coming in. Hard to see exactly what Weaver's going to be doing. He's actually probably going to be core here. Actually, I think,
10
yeah, he's
seconds
either going to be
remaining.
1 or 2 here.
5 seconds remaining.
Almost certainly saving the 2 for last on Shlark. I would be astounded if we were going to see like a Spirit Breaker Danny or something.
Right.
Or a Neeks 2. I don't think I've ever seen a Neeks 2 actually. I don't think it's
Yeah,
ever been
like
good.
my entire life. Yeah.
No Monkey King, says Shlark. Looking for a pause 1 last, perhaps.
10
Or just getting
seconds
rid of people who
remaining.
can play pause
Expanding
1 or
Iceman
2.
heroes.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
No Drow, says Well Twisted Fantasy. He's kind of doing the same. Getting rid of 1s and 2s.
Ten seconds remaining.
I can
5
tell you this
seconds
much, right?
remaining.
Willow Twisted Fantasy has had some big issues with team cohesion, likability. Notably missing today, Alexa Jax, who I'm told, alright, I'm a broadcast journalist, and here's some anonymous crap that I heard that might or might not be made up. I've heard Alexa Jax has had a lot of cohesion problems on Willow Twisted Fantasy. It's had a lot to say and not very good things, kind of takes up a lot of the comm line, right? Makes communication, makes running smoothly a little harder sometimes.
Jesus
Notably not
Lord.
here.
10 seconds remaining.
Storm Spirit?
5 seconds remaining.
The Void ban, and I guess the Invoker ban too, although it's probably just an Iceman ban. Kind of makes me think Storm.
Right. You're spanning out a lot of Iceman stuff. They're gonna feel real silly if Weaver ends up being the 2.
You know, the Void ban kind of sticks out. Makes me
Radiant team
especially think that, but we'll see.
I've always thought it's a little surprising you don't see a bit more Weaver 2 going on. Certainly can mid have a good showing there. Depends on who he's going up against, of course. Which I think is the case for all
10
mids, but
seconds remaining.
well, it's not like the most ideal mid in the world or anything like that.
5
Certainly a
seconds
position I
remaining.
think he's viable enough in. Certainly against anybody squishy. Like anybody who has a hard time dealing with the armor break from the bugs is just gonna get smashed to bits, and getting him a quick 6 is very nice because it gives him a lot of freedom to fight. You were right, it's Storm Spirit. US Danny on the Storm Spirit. Not one of his
I think
more
we've seen it
signature
before in this
heroes.
tournament.
Right. Not one of his more signature heroes, but certainly certainly
10
within the
seconds
sort of playbook for the guy, I think.
5 seconds remaining.
I believe in a prior season, US Danny had like an 80% puck pick rate. Storm Spirit and Puck, very functionally similar, not identical obviously.
Yep.
But in the hands, Storm Spirit and Puck require a very similar skill set, very similar mindset, very similar execution, so familiarity with Puck translates very well to the Storm Spirit.
Choose your hero.
TA, huh?
Yeah.
That's our 2 as well. Gonna have a 1 Weaver. Whoa!
Yeah. Alright.
It's interesting. I think they actually have 2 stand-ins on Willow right now. Should certainly explain why they had to throw one of the games earlier.
Right.
And yeah, that is likely 5 Abaddon. Though Bonus and Roxy have been trading places frequently recently. I'd say fairly confidently, I think. It's 5 Abaddon.
Yeah.
Abaddon Lifestealer can be a very nasty lane. You know, if they're able to touch you one time, you're basically dead. Though,
Alright, could be a good one.
Miss Coil likely not going to play much of a part there for them, though. Certainly, if we are going to see an Abaddon Lifestealer lane, it'd be better to, I think, skill build Abaddon like a 3 here, and more or less ignore Mist Coil, rather than going the more traditional 5 build and focusing on Mist Coil heals.
Right.
That is a plug ugly Neek set. Wow, that's gross. Sorry, Roxy. I didn't mean to insult your Neek's assassin like that.
That's
You know,
it's
usually...
a TA set that doesn't have the mask on.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be med.
You know, it's usually it's, gonna pause the game here. Of course, every good match starts with a very long pause this week, it feels like. There we go. So, a lot of long pauses in the live game as well, actually. Jeez, this is Pause City. Something was just going wrong in Dota Land on week 6 here. But, yeah. We don't usually like to open flame on this casting desk. You know, we try to usually be constructive and all that. But Roxy, throw this goddamn set in the trash. It is horrific. Make this set uninstall Dota, please. Absolutely gross.
30 seconds to battle.
Here's my public apology for flaming on the desk. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take it back though.
Gotta go here.
Yep. Luth just picked up a sponsor, an oversight.
But nothing
The
too
battle
exciting there.
begins.
Yep, immediately just dispersing back to traditional positions. Looks like Roxy is going to be the pause for today, so here's your call, and this is going to be for both games, certainly, because we're not going to have another game here. Baby Shlark, pause 1. Lifestealer is Keen Captain, respect the pouch, otherwise known as Applesauce. The pause 2, US Danny on the Storm Spirit. 3, Big Boofus on Spirit Breaker. Pause 4, Roxy Row on the Neek's Assassin, one of the more standout members of the team, I think.
MVP last season. Looking like a pretty good player this one, too.
And pause 5, we got Abaddon, bonus. Just kind of chasing Bane all the way out of the lane. Yeah, has indeed looking more of an offensive sort of lineup here. That's interesting. So this game on Willow Twisted Fantasy, Iceman getting very heavily beat up by US Danny here. Pause 1, it looks like Ramonolo? Pause 1? Is Mars? You sure? Seems to be a very interesting lane comp here. I don't know exactly what the thought is.
I assume the positions are remaining the same, or the
Yeah, they're just
the
laning,
lanes don't necessarily.
laning in
yeah.
odd places. So I guess that's just their. I'm not really sure exactly why that is. Maybe they're just looking to bully the Lifestealer, want to try and get an early advantage over him, which isn't a bad idea. I would say Lifestealer.
And certainly working out so far.
Yeah, Lifestealer by a hair, if nothing more. Lifestealer will outscale the Weaver in the long game. So Luth presumably as pause 1 here in the offlane though, on the Weaver. Captain of the team, by the way. Pause 2, certainly, Iceman on TA. Pause 3, Ramonolo on the Mars. Pause 4, you have, Pause 4, I believe, is going to be the same. That's going to be Whoa as stand-in here on the Bane. Pause 5, you have Buff standing on the Willow. This is very curious. Randy, you're a doctor, right?
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
All right, do a little medical reconstruction here, right? You know, what's the what would give you the symptoms of putting Ramonolo in the safe lane here and sending Weaver to bot? What
Probably
are
just
they thinking about?
what you were talking about, the Lifestealer. Because Bane Weaver lane can put a lot more pressure on Lifestealer than maybe a Mars Willow can. Oh, yep.
What was
there
that?
we go.
I heard that happen and I had to look around a little bit for it. Let's check that out in real time. Batten just getting
It's gonna run him down, yeah.
yep, just getting told out by the Weaver there. Steeler is going to take his dues off of Luth though. Batten just could not care less.
Dire's middle
Okay, now he
tower is
could.
under attack.
Bane definitely needs to get himself a stockpile of regen here. Bane is one of those heroes that absolutely cannot do anything at all without mana, and he certainly goes through a lot of the stuff, so picking up some more clarities and mangoes would not be a bad play, I don't think.
Could also be that they don't really like the Weaver matchup against Nyx Assassin SB.
Is it really that bad against Nyx and SB? I wouldn't say so
It's
necessarily.
not that bad, but it's better against
Two
like,
melee, yeah.
Lifestealer or Batten, yeah.
Did
Well, they're all melee, but
what did
Lifestealer or
Ramen-
Batten's less of an aggressive lane.
right. Lifestealer Batten's more like a melee lane, at least until a Batten, if he is going to
Yeah.
do it, leans into Mist Coil.
Blessings.
He's gotten a level of it. I'm a little surprised actually he's gotten a level over it rather than going for Curse of Avernus here. Because Curse of Avernus with the Lifesteal, especially if Lifestealer is able to go hard into his passive, which so far he's been able to.
Yep.
Can
do a lot for you here. Oof and Roxy going after the Willow here. Though Spearbreaker is going to be stunned for quite a long time, cumulatively here. Not that long, considering both the stuns are level 1, though.
Yeah, Martis can definitely handle the lane that's going to be aggressive like that more than a Weaver can.
Right.
So I can see it.
Whoa, by the way, sponsored by ZZ. ZZ Top, perhaps?
Maybe. If your off lane's way easier to farm in than your safe lane is, then yeah, put the #1 farm priority there. They
Right.
want to be where the farm is easiest.
Oh, Batten actually getting, once
yeah.
again, just takes the toll. Kind of eats the death for Lifestealer there. It was very low.
Right.
Radiant's
Well, notably,
middle
poor
tower is
Lifestealer, he really does not have much to offer in this lane so far. Weaver is kind of walking all over him. Certainly, if the plan was to switch up the lanes like this to bully Lifestealer specifically, it's playing well executed so far. As Lifestealer really has, even with Abaddon backing him up, really has nothing to say. Especially before Abaddon's able to get Curse of Avernus. He's very low here. We do have the Mist Coil and the Aphotic though. Just going to be able to buy him time, save his life. Meanwhile at mid though, Iceman was able to knock out US Danny. So, watch how that happened. Zaps in. He's got his level 6 power spike there. But we got Fairy Fire coming out. And here comes the shield. Shield just means that's it for Storm Spirit.
Your death was
Yep.
a secret I can no longer
Very much like the last set we did with, I believe it was game 1 in NWA versus Lich. It's not really a good response at all. It's going to be very hard for anybody to get through that TA shield on Shlark. Nobody has good DOT for it. Nobody really even attacks all that fast.
Right.
You know, if she gets Curse of Avernus on her, that's the best thing you're going to do, and that is not an easy ask for a pause 5 Abaddon. A 3 Abaddon might be able to do it, but a 5, nuh-uh. Not a hope in hell of that one. And while they're going to be able
Oh,
to
boy.
to beat her up quite a bit. Oh, US Danny actually here at top, looking for
Wants
the
Ramanolo.
traditional offlaners. Gets up,
We'll get
Ramanolo.
Ramanolo.
Coming in more, still going. Neek's actually with
Oh.
a stun there, just barely. So Sphere blocking the way out, or way
Yep.
in perhaps,
Yep.
depending on how you see it.
At least
Boof
enough
comes
to
in for the
get
kill.
forfeit.
Spearbreaker just charges her down, and then just leaves. Teleports back to his own tower, which is a little odd.
Just wants to get out of there without taking tower hits.
I'll say if you are a Spearbreaker, right? You know, you might as well go
Oh,
for
Abaddon.
the... yeah, but Abaddon, once again, getting knocked out here. Lifestealer can do very little in response to any basic offensive on him, and he's just totaled. He actually does have better last hits than you might think for somebody in this situation.
Radiant's courier
A lot of that
has
is
been
just because of how much sort of Lifestealer can afford to tank with his face. He can afford to just bash into the creep wave like that. Bane's getting dangerously close to 6 though. Bane hits 6, it's just kind of going to be another free kill on poor Abaddon for them. Or God forbid, if Abaddon's already knocked out, it's a free kill on Lifestealer. Very free and easy kill there. Well, the sending the Weaver bot certainly is giving them a bit of an advantage here. One thing that has not worked out too well in Centaur, allowing Radiant safely to do some damage. One thing that has not worked out, on the other hand, Ramonolo up at top has had... Oh, well, there goes Baden. Wants his steed to flee. Neeks is here at bot. He's actually hasted. Looking for Bane here, but Bane's so high, Neeks doesn't have anything to do to him before 6. He's just here to be annoying. He will do some annoying, at least. Messes up the Weaver. Bane inching closer and closer to that 6. He's also chewing on a clarity for the moment it happens. Very drink it up for Willow.
Yep, always good.
I believe that's the first item jungle overall. Or jungle item, rather. That's 6 for Bane. Abaddon's right there.
Gonna get hassled by the Nyx here. Just make sure.
Just coils
Nothing
all the
happens.
damage off. Still no curse. Which I gotta say, not even a casual point at. Even at 5. Just will not do it. It's a little confusing. I feel like a couple of curse actually could have saved him maybe a life or two just by being able to slow Weaver perhaps, get him out of there.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Nothing
attack.
else tee him up for a pretty easy kill. Neeks went over to mid, but failed to get anything of value done. Tried to bait out Carapace there, but or tried to bait out something and Carapace it there, but it didn't work. TA has a 2-level lead on the Storm Spirit at this point. The Storm Spirit is pretty close to 9. 10 last hits up, so pretty good advantage. Weaver doing considerably better than Lifestealer as far as last hits go, who is tied with Ramonolo, who's been doing somewhat badly in the lane himself. Funny combat music. Willow's down here bot to try and prevent much from happening. Lifestealer has to go to bed.
Oh.
But Aphotic Shield means he is waking back up. He is going to get the kill there. Without Weaver present, this lane does not have much to offer, and he was just kind of hitting the tower in the back line. He's going to pop right in front of Spearbreaker. Really depending on his ult here. Though Radiant is actually a little too scared of Reprisal to go in. I think they're assuming more there, assuming Mars lingering in the background, but Mars is top right now. Assuming something for ends up stopping them there. Lifestealer takes a cue from Luth himself. Takes a trip to the off lane to try and farm up where it's easier. Actually, almost surprised this didn't happen before, considering Lifestealer really does not have much to be afraid of with the Willow and Mars combo compared to Weaver. Though I'm not, I would not be surprised at all if Lifestealer did this. You would just find Weaver coming right for him and be in an even worse scenario, being in this against an equally unfortunate matchup in a worse lane to be in. So I guess pick your poison there. Ban does have ult.
Yeah, spot him
There it
here.
is.
Definitely pop it. Hey, no, not to hit him.
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, the Willow and the Weaver. That bug shredding the armor just pops a Batten like a cherry tomato.
Guy's having a rough time of it.
Yeah. That's not the bonus playbook. He's 0-5 at the moment. We've just been eating him for breakfast. Spearbreaker very bravely going in deep on the Bane here, who responds with perhaps the predictable play of the Bane ult. Though,
Oh, US Danny's here.
an impromptu run-in from Neek's Assassin and the jump in from US Danny, the TP in, means he does go down in response, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Luth survives, which is the interesting thing. Abaddon and Dark Willow both picking up smokes. Dank. I like how crappy the metal on Martha's shield sounds. It sounds like it's like made at 10. Sounds like he's blocking things with like a pot.
Maybe he is.
Yep. On one hand, this would be a great arena opportunity usually. On the other hand, literally all Lifestealer needs to do is just hit Q and walk away,
Yeah, press Q and he's
unfortunately.
gone.
Funny combat music on Luth here.
He should be okay. I don't really have the reach for him.
Yep.
For want of a disruptor, I suppose.
Weaver has such a big brain that unfortunately they can't stop him. Look at that. Weaver's a genius. At least if you believe in phrenology anyway.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
TA just gonna casually blow down the tower here, though it does back off in the face of the Nyx Assassin. Does
Yep.
not want to risk getting teed up for a Storm Spirit to come in and just annihilate him.
And US Danny is around, so
Everybody's around, actually.
that's true.
Stays a little long trying to get rid of the
Oh,
Nyx,
Ramanolo!
but gets just Abaddon, who's just going to bash himself into the walls repeatedly to heal himself, though. Unfortunately, I cannot imagine he's very happy with the outcome of that anyway. First arena of the game, gets a solo kill. Does not get the two other people he was targeting, but you know, that'll happen to you sometimes. At least he got something out of it.
I can't even really call that tanking the gank, because he didn't have a choice there. He just got caught in the arena.
Right.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
A little bit of a go here, maybe. Oh. Tia does a lot of damage though, that Meld Strike.
Dire's top tower
Spearbreaker turns around and charges, and then just immediately gets sent to hell by
Grip and
Banal.
deleted. Yep.
Yep. One thing I will say, the more I think about it, the worse these duels, not duels, these arenas look for Willow. Just the
is under attack.
gonna a little bit of a fight here. You know, Abaddon, he's got a Photic, he's got the ult. Neeks,
Radiant's bottom tower
keep wanting to
is
call
under
him Weaver.
attack.
Neeks has got the Carapace, that just makes him suck to be in there, and he's also got the Impale to mess you up if you're not paying a lot of attention to him.
Yep.
It's starting to brew here.
Oh yeah,
Willow just
Storm
kinda
does a
getting,
lot of damage.
Yep, Storm doing a lot of damage here. Willow just kind of getting hassled here. Oh, a good arena. Storm Spirit caught in here without pretty much any MP, and he's dead. Though Spearbreaker immediately comes in to take Ramanolo out himself. Certainly better for
Actually, super sick
Ramanolo.
arena.
Certainly better for
Yeah.
Ramanolo to have gotten the kill and died than have gotten no kill at all. I think in that specific juncture, though.
Thanks, you
Fear
charge
Bomb
up
hit
there.
0.
Oh.
That's sad.
Yeah, just underestimated the speed
Weaver.
of the Lifestealer.
Weaver is here. Is going to want to play around here, I think, though. He took getting stunned very poorly. No longer wants to
Shlark
do
will
much.
disengage.
Willow is just trying as
Disengage a
hard
little.
as hard as she can, and Willow as a team trying as hard as they can to keep something going. But Luth does not want to fight this, and until Luth decides he wants to fight this, nothing's going to happen. Bit unfortunate. I feel like maybe there's a little bit of a miscomm there, or you know, people trying desperately to get Luth to act in a way he doesn't want to. There, it just doesn't work out. As I was saying before that whole thing went down, and in fairness, they did have US Danny die in it just to make me eat my words a little bit, though that was a very extreme situation for him. The more you think about it, the worse the arenas look. You know, Abaddon, ult, Weaver, Carapace, you know. Spearbreaker has the bulldoze in there, and
Radiant's courier has been
means
killed.
for, by and large, you're kind of stuck in there with him more than he's stuck in there with you, though he's certainly stuck to a wall and dying now.
Yeah.
Not only a good entry on him, also killed the courier on the way just for added insult. I'm really sure why he didn't just immediately bulldoze charge somewhere else the second that happened to him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe there wasn't anybody up on the map. That will happen to you sometimes with Spirit Breaker. But
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
then of course you have Storm Spirit. You can just get out of there.
Fortified.
Lifesteal can just Q and walk out of there. Really, everybody on Radiant has a pretty good response to Arena, one way or the other. And even if they don't immediately have that, they have Baden for it. You can kind of help with that. Speaking of Baden, he and Storm Spirit just kind of dive in the T1s just to get a very free kill on the Bane there.
Dire's structures are
Iceman picks up the Orchid, which is going to make it a lot harder for US Dane to do anything useful until he gets BKB. Certainly going to be a lot better on TA than it is on Storm Spirit here, even with equivalent items. Weaver getting jumped here, getting put in the arena here.
Yeah.
Once again, US Danny actually getting very hassled by this arena, though he eventually actually does get out. Neeks ends up sort of half tanking the gank as Baby Shlark just on the retreat here. Kind of splitting up, can't really decide quite who they want to take. I think the ultimate answer is Spirit Breaker, who is just getting chopped to pieces here. Abaddon moving into respawn, but Abaddon kind of biting off a little more than he can chew here. Especially in light of having really not much to say as far as optimization goes, and certainly not without Curse of Avernus still level 9. Listen, I know it's the world standard pause 5 Abaddon build, but there's a thing called situation. In this situation, it is all better to take the Curse of Avernus. You desperately are in need of that silence, and are desperately need something to go well with that that Lifestealer there. Like, Curse of Avernus plus Ghoul Frenzy, man, that is so much slow. That is a ungodly amount of slow you're putting on somebody, and you're choosing to, what, get, you know, 50 more damage or healing on the Mist Coil? Hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. It's definitely not as bad as it was when I wrote this guide. But still,
Dire's top tower is under
it's
attack.
not great. Especially without the ability to self-deny anymore. That's not the super most ideal thing. Of course,
Everyone just kind
like
of minding their own business, farming.
except Roxy, who's getting minding his own business, getting jumped.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh boy.
I like that. He gets sent.
I don't-
He gets speared through the willow maze into a tree for like the super stun.
Yeah.
Purge's head would explode if he saw that. It's like the ultimate stun stack.
I don't think the spear landed.
US
so
Danny,
is that at
man.
least-
US Danny in the
He's gripped.
worst spot in the universe
Oh, man.
gets Fiend's gripped right in front of TA. Ouch. And then gets tipped. Well
I
played.
think that's a sign that he needs a Lincoln Sphere, even with the Dark Willow there.
Yeah.
I suppose Bane can mess it up too with Enfeeble,
Radiant's
but
courier has been killed.
Yeah, really the only thing that it would suck to have the thing pop by would be like Enfeeble really doesn't mean a lot to him, especially not at this point. It will one day though. Really sucks. I mean the thing he super duper duper needs is
Embrace up.
BKB.
so it's really not. It's not
Arena
even
here.
that good against Bane. It just seems necessary.
Arena here
Arena
actually
Celestial
taking
are
out
always good.
the Lifestealer.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Actually catches him with Rage
Radiant's
down,
middle
which is
tower
good.
is under attack.
Ramonolo has been getting some good use out of the arena in spite of how bad it is to actually get anything done with it. It all needs to be perfect for his arenas to mean anything, but he's very fortunate in that US Danny, very low there.
Radiant's middle tower
Actually
is
almost
under
got
attack.
eaten by the bug. But
Yeah.
it is very difficult for the Marvolts to mean anything at all in a matchup like this. He's been doing very good, timing it very perfectly, so you still get some results out of it anyway. Though frankly, I feel like you would have gotten better results in either case with Enigma here. I think. Because then you wouldn't have to worry so much about people getting out. You wouldn't have to worry about like a Baden constantly, right? You could just kind of set it and forget it. I mean, you'd have Storm Spirit to worry about, but you're worrying about Storm Spirit in this arena situation anyway, so, you know, status quo there.
Right.
What do you think? You're a doctor, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I don't have anything to add to that.
Or, if you want to hedge your bets and be a little safer about it, a Darkseer also.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You get a lot. I mean, it's going to be a much lesser stun, obviously, but it's going to be a lot harder to just nullify. I'm going to give you a lot more opportunities to do something interesting with it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A little Twisted Fantasy really just running this tower over here.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower
I will
is
say,
under
for a draft that outside of the TA in particular, looks like he kind of favored Willow Twisted Fantasy there.
Dire's top tower is
Or
under attack.
favored Baby Shlark there, rather. So far, Willow Twisted Fantasy's been doing very good, maintaining an early lead here.
Dire's top tower
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's definitely some realization. They're going to be, to an extent, the earlier team. Though I will say TA does scale better than it looks like she should. So maybe that could turn things around
Yes.
for them. They could go long. Against Lifestealer in particular. Set. I believe they just smoked under vision there, yeah. Smoke under vision, everyone on rating gets the hell out. US Danny even pops a invis room there. Though, that has opened up the
Roshan's
possibility.
Storm.
Yep.
Radiant are scanning.
Has opened up the possibility. Radiant now looking at, able to look at the Roche.
They know they're there. Because they scanned it out. Just don't think they're that interesting in testing.
Yep. Storm Spirit unfortunately TP'd. He does not have, he does have the region here, but it's just too late to do anything with it. Storm Spirit unfortunately was, had to TP there. He was TPing out. So he could not, I believe, no he wasn't, that was just Lifestealer. I'm wrong, I'm an idiot. He did end up walking all across the map, like the entire way across the map, trying to get away from the smoke gank. And that just meant that he could not actually come in and steal. Which was unfortunate for him. Looking at Roxy. Or hungrily looking at that
Dire's
Roxy. I'm sure he
turret has been
would have
killed.
absolutely no problem just dropping an arena on him.
Yep.
Not
Come on.
necessarily be necessary, though it certainly will be if Willow whiffs the stun. Still actually going to be looking for Neeks up here, though certainly not
Dire's
going to
bottom
find
tower
anything.
is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Lifestealer going to single-handedly knock over that tower bot. Bang going to rotate in to try and help them out, though. No, that might have actually been the guy to send. Being down Bane for the next little push here is going to put them at a bit of risk, especially with Neeks actually coming in from the behind. Though Storm Spirit actually showed up just to kill the Bane. Does he have a TP? Yes, he does. So he can just do this and leave immediately.
Yep.
Radiant's top
But not
tower
in
has
time
fallen.
to save the tower, unfortunately for him. Man status blown down. Things are looking very good for Willow Twisted Fantasy here. I think they perhaps came to the same realization that you did, that if Willow Twisted Fantasy takes the L here, they don't have any path to enter the tournament as a whole.
Yep.
Randy, you're a doctor, right?
Yeah.
As the doctor of Dota, what the hell are we doing here if we're Baby Shlark? How do we pull the nose up on this?
Strong pick-off game, I think.
Let's talk about itemization. You're a big pause one, right? What do you think Lifestealer should be looking at? You think Scotty's the right call?
Yeah, it could definitely help. I think it's more on playstyle than itemization in this game because they have a great pick-off lineup they just haven't been using with the Lifestealer ulti. You know, Lifestealer plus Storm, that's a classic. Lifestealer plus Spirit Breaker. But we just haven't seen these combos in this game yet, really.
Right. That might have been
And, he's gonna
might have
pop
not been the
Rage.
play to pop Rage there so soon. He is
He's
able
gone,
to
though.
invis.
Oh, did get
He
caught
is
there.
dusted, but they don't want to actually fight. They just wanted to get a pick.
Yeah,
Maybe?
start utilizing those lifestealer combos you picked. Is what I would say.
Arena up.
Okay.
Immediately knocking out
Storm's
Stormspirit
caught.
there. He's feared. Great fear bomb from Willow. The real Willow, not the team.
They actually CC'd him from full to dead.
Dire's top
That
That is
was
good
very
layering.
good. That was very good. They did lose both their supports in the process, but still very good. Does seem like they're putting an undue emphasis on the Storm Spirit, though. They're really kind of ignoring Lifestealer almost, leaving him to his own devices. They can get the Storm, which I don't know if that's necessarily a great trade. Lifestealer is definitely going to be a problem way later than Storm is, for way longer than Storm is. Getting some smoke in on Baby Shlark. Getting some smoke in on on Willow Twisted Fantasy. Identical
Yeah.
smoke timings. WTF doing a good job keeping the equilibrium in their favor. It seems like there's never a dull moment with Willow Twisted Fantasy. They're always pushing out one wave or another with somebody.
Yep.
It never feels like they're losing too many hands doing so. This could be bad. Oh, Mars is about to be into the line of fire quite heavily here. Neeks finds the Geek Squad. Supports are here.
Okay.
Arena is up, but Storm's BKB this time. They can't do a thing to the guy. Spirit Breaker gets a great initiation in here. Basically just knocks over
X-Men's
Mars
halberded.
himself. Aegis just popped. Oh no,
Oh, dear.
baby, that's not good. Goodbye,
He killed Storm.
Godlike. Storm did die, but Lifestealer's still alive here. Weaver is dusted, but I don't think they're going to have anything up in time to actually get him. Yep, without US standing around, they cannot. I guess that's why that so much emphasis is put on the Weaver, on the Storm Spirit, because Storm Spirit is dead. They have nothing for Weaver. They need to have charge for him, or else he's just going to be fine. Right now, that's not really an option for him. Still, bad just TPing out. Still, that's definitely a very good fight on the part of Baby Shlark there. That was, you know, they did lose a Storm Spirit for it, and that's no good. But getting the kill on the TA there right after the Aegis pops, getting the kill on Mars, getting the kill on the supports there, leaving only Weaver alive, just barely. Not only does that have to have Weaver feeling real mortal right about now, but boy, that's gotta smart if you're TA. That's a godlike you just dropped, and that's never a nice feeling. Did drop the Spirit Breaker, which isn't the most ideal thing in the world, though that is going to give him some advantage. But you especially had to die with a large XP advantage right in front of Lifestealer. And now Lifestealer himself is the one with the XP advantage. Willow Twisted Fantasy occupying the Radiant Triangle here. Weaver picks up a Paladin Sword. Keeps it for himself, no surprise there. Which is one of the more interesting finds you can have. Certainly, I can tell you this, if I'm Lifestealer, I am salivating at the prospect of picking one of those bad boys up myself, though they do actually find one. It's on the ground right there. Seems to like the Vambrace more. I don't really get the hype on the Vambrace, to be honest with you. I feel like Paladin Sword for him. It's everything he wants, everything he needs. I feel like if there's one jungle item that might be the most overrated jungle item in the game, it might be Vambrace. Seems like people way too enthusiastic about holding on to that well after the point it's relevant. And I will say, the magic resistance is good. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's bad or anything, but you know, Randy, you're a Poslin, right? What do you do?
Yes.
Vambrace or Paladin Sword here?
I like Agi Embrace, but I feel like, I guess the thought process is Paladin Sword is better if you don't already have. Oh
no!
attack.
Oh
Bane
boy.
again! Twice over here now. Bane is,
Alright.
Bane has been really giving it to him.
I said Shlark needed to up the pickoff game, but looks like we're getting the other way around here. That was a sick pickoff.
Yeah, very good series of events there, especially on Bane's part. Last second ult on the Lifestealer, then the last second nightmare on a Baden. It's really really got to damper the spirits a little bit there. Knocking out Lifestealer, big move for them.
So the idea is, Paladin Sword gives you more of what you already have, whereas Vambrace gives you something that you wouldn't have without it.
Well, you have something better than that without it in the same category, though. You don't need to worry so much about magic resistance as Lifestealer, I promise. If you do, you're in the
Well, I know, but
wrong
that's,
part of town.
That's the idea behind it.
Right.
Not seeing it necessarily agree.
Is under attack.
Roxy Roro getting completely annihilated there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I said before, you know, it's a lot larger. It's a lot bigger of a transition to go from 0 to 1 than it is from 1 to 2. Problem is, though, it's not 0 to 1 in this case. It's like 2 to 3, basically, you know?
Yep.
Radiant's middle
That's my
tower
take on it
is
anyway. First Rex of the game. Well, rack singular, I guess. I mean, it's still Rex if it is singular, but... Well... No, it isn't actually, is it? It's very strange. You very rarely hear individually marked barracks.
One barrack.
Yeah. I don't know if it's one barrack or one barracks, actually. Some English major in the comments section let us know.
Oh!
Attempt on the
Oh.
arena there, but an attempt
If
that
you hit the
goes
spear, I think
ultimately
that will
nowhere.
work. It's a good attempt. Because if he hits that sphere, they can definitely layer him until he dies. They've already shown that.
Right. Weaver finishes up a Scotty. Shlark smoking out of base.
They certainly are. Gonna smoke right into Iceman.
Uh-oh. That's not who you want to have immediately taken out by
That's
all
what you
5
do.
guys. Ramonolo following just right into the grave. Fiend's Grip on Storm Spirit accomplishes almost nothing at all. Though US
out of
Navy,
mana.
out of mana, just taking all the hits possible from Luth, starting to turn it around here. Bad ulted. Up,
Oh
break
boy.
from the back.
Weaver versus the world.
Yep. Break from the back there just completely takes out the support line there. Weaver is dusted, but they just can't find him. Once again, if they don't have the Storm Spirit up, it seems like they just can't do
See?
anything to Luth.
Like I said before, that's what you need to do. You need to find the pickoff. You need to find, you know, the weak spot and press it.
We're trying to delay game here on this push. Super late dust there on the Spirit Breaker, unfortunately.
I think it was cooldown. If he was the one who dusted during the last fight.
Right. Maybe Shlark just gonna go after Roche here. They got plenty of tools to do the job, especially now that Curse of Avernus is up. One of the best roaching skills in the entire game. I think it very rarely gets subdued to Zers in that
Yep.
in that regard. Patton gets ult, has to ult in the middle of it. So
They are
having to turn
responding.
around. They might end up entirely throwing this Roche here. They Yules Roxy in the burrow. Goodbye. Yeah, they're actually gonna lose this Roche.
Yep.
Oh, Twisted Fancy immediately just responds. Just takes it for themselves. Takes it way faster.
Alright, well, there you go.
Dire's bottom
I think maybe some of the weaknesses of the 5 Abaddon showing there to a degree. This was not able to stand up to Roche there with such a level disadvantage. And without much to say in terms of items. Certainly the Holy Locket. Always very appreciated. Holy Locket gonna especially do well if Abaddon at some point can pick himself up in Ags. A very big ask for a 5, but Still certainly within the realm of reality if it goes particularly long. And while Willow, Twisted Fantasy have established a very dominant edge so far, it is a little hard to see exactly how they're going to do an uphill push. It's going to have a lot to say defending it, between, you know, US Dandy being able to pop back and forth between spawn, you know, Lifestealer able to tank up with his Q, able to go into people with his ult.
I'm gonna go on this.
Arena here, but
Oh,
Arena
boy.
catches 0. Lifestealer just walks right out. Especially with
And if
Arena
the spear
gone.
hit,
Though,
they can layer if the spear hits, but it didn't.
Iceman just gonna immediately just eat the racks here.
Radiant's
Yep.
middle
They're
No
gonna go bot as
contest.
well.
Yep, pulling to bot. Fearbreaker is gonna charge in, just gonna immediately murder Willow. The hero, not the team.
Everyone blinks away from SB's ult, said.
Yeah, he just goes blah a lot and doesn't do anything. Luth just pulled in a Mjolnir here. She was gonna help this up a little bit.
Yep.
The side of that, I think everybody just kind of pulls out a little bit. We were going back here. Yep, just gonna keep the pressure on, but not actually really close anything here. Nope, not even pressure anymore. Now they're just fully pulling out.
Yep. Don't want to take that without the fear bomb, perhaps.
Right. Yeah, Fear Bomb and Arena are both going to be very critical in getting this done. So without Willow here for her namesake team, very unlikely they're going to accomplish that much. So she is back up, and this outpost is captured for them. Coming right in. Actually, even just the mere thought of Willow's existence has given Willow a big
Radiant's bottom tower
boost of
has
confidence
fallen.
here. Spearbreaker charging in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, not again, baby. Storm is ulted by the
Oh boy.
Fiend's Grip. He just has to get out of town. They actually don't have any detection for Lysio, so even though he was in a really bad spot in that arena, nothing came out of it. Still, Boof goes down. Spearbreaker is back. Charging right back into affairs. Kind of ends up being a little late to take out Mars there. Gigantic stun there from Dark Willow. Uh-oh. Oh, but a great Fear Bomb to follow!
Oh yeah.
US Danny got, like, killed by something in the back there. I'm not really sure what. I thought he got eaten by the bug, but seems to be not the
Yeah,
case.
got the kill there.
Weaver got officially burrowed. Or stunned while burrowed again. Has so much response to the burrow here, dude. It seems to be doing nothing good for them, unfortunately. 2 sets of racks down for Baby Shlark there, though. Baby Shlark is the never say die team. Oh Jesus, we're not gonna have another hour-long game, are we? What does Gabe say? Only 82% for Willow there. It's actually a
Wow.
little generous to Shlark, I think. I would definitely not give them even a 15% to pull this one around. Which, hey, means if they do, then boy, what an achievement that is. What an achievement that will be. Though at this juncture, I think it's sort of all said and done. Goodbye, Neek's Courier.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Van getting caught here. Though he is very fast. Not so fast anymore though, dang. Good stun from the Weaver to help turn this around. Big arena here though. Big Fear Bomb in the middle of it just makes everybody useless. Only Luth survives. Only Luth not affected by the Fear Bomb. I think he was just raged for one more second there. Though without Bane, they can't really catch him too well. He just gets out of there. It's funny, both teams very centered around one specific team member to actually catch people. Feels like without Storm Spirit, they can't kill Weaver, and without Bane, they can't kill Lifestealer. It's a funny little scenario. Though it's certainly a lot easier to kind of write Lifestealer out of the affairs than it is to write Right Weaver out of the affairs.
Is under attack. Radiant's top
My Stealer's silenced. He's not going to have anything to say about Spirit Breaker's untimely death. The BKB there on TA just renders Storm Spirit unable to do much. I was kind of running past here to try and get kills in the background instead of taking out the racks here. Though T eventually does knock it out.
Tia has an
entirely.
orc, doesn't he?
Uh-oh. Life Stealer dead. He does have the buy. Spirit Breaker
Killed someone
gone.
before.
Spirit Breaker's spirits die back. Respect the Pouch coming back in, doing a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. But once again, US Danny, nobody's able to do anything about that T8
Oh, she
meld.
blinked out.
Bane actually is back up. I believe he respawned naturally over the course of this. Willow Twisted Fantasy takes a powder for a moment, though. They are looking at turning this around, though. I don't know if they should take this 4v5. Penta Edge Sword comes out here. That could be very deadly, though I believe TA is going to want to sit on that Titan's liver. Ice Stealer has actually switched over to the Paladins at some point. I believe it came a little too late, unfortunately, for him. If you want to know just how much Neeks is counting on his ult at this point, he's sitting on a Philo Stone. Actually getting an Aeon Disc, too. So certainly going to be just all about stunning from Burrow at this point forward, basically. Stun and mana breaking in the Burrow. I don't know, it feels like so far that it hasn't exactly been working out for him. Though maybe the Aeon Disc might change that.
We shall see.
And just stacking up the jungle here. Weaver finishes up a Satanic just to push that net worth advantage on Willow Twisted Fantasy even higher. Seems like there's a lot of Megas defenses this week.
Yeah, seems that way.
Though I do have this funny feeling that this Megas defense is going to end up the same way it did as the one we did live. I do think they actually do have a better lineup for Megas defense than LDR did in the live game, though. Not only are they facing a little bit worse ability to just clear out the waves, you know, Anti-Mage can just come in and reduce waves to ashes, whereas TA's quite so great at that, especially not in the same amount of time. Definitely not as mobile, right? So, not only does Willow have a less of an ability to just completely knock things out as MF Doom did, but as well, Baby Shlark has a bit more pushing power here with the Storm Spirit, has a bit more base defense here with the Abaddon. Abaddon himself personally can kind of attend to the Megas, maybe +1. So there is more hope here for this Megas comeback, though I wouldn't be betting me house on it, especially with T2s up in all lanes. It's going to take some Herculean effort to come in, knock out a T2, knock out a T3, knock out the racks, keep moving on. You know, it's going to be several fights. And we did just get Cheese and Refresher Shard on Willow. All I can wonder at this point is how this lineup would have gone if we had had the originals on Willow Twisted Fantasy rather than the stand-ins. Wonder to what degree this has changed things in their favor. Very rare that you can say that stand-ins would be having a positive effect. Maybe losing Hellscream might be bad, but losing Alexa Jax might have actually been a bit positive as far as keeping team morale up at least. I wouldn't compare them necessarily as players, per se. Oh, a pretty good arena here.
God, TA.
Ice Stealer actually valiantly fighting on through it. Kills Marv with the cheese in his hands. Always sad to see. So US Danny is US dead. Lifestealer is dead!
Is also
Lifestealer is dead,
yeah.
he's got no buy! Bad and dead, US Danny's back. It's true. Does mean a little something different when you just go ding, get rid of
Oh,
it,
boy.
but goodbye Storm Spirit! Both of the cores dead back.
Has fallen.
And that's it.
Ancient is under attack. Radiant
They
structures
live
They're
to fight
gonna
another week.
cliff the goddamn Ancient. Wait, are they trying to be funny here?
attack. Dire
Okay, good. That's
No,
not an
you can't.
official GG for Willow. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, Willow herself actually was the first one to say GG, and I thought maybe for a second they were just trying to buy time for the Dire Ancient to explode. That would be funny. That would be
Willow
dumb.
lives to fight another week.
Yeah, they are still here, still alive, still kicking. Just will not get put down like that. Jeez, a lot of 1-1s here. Makes me wonder what would have happened if they had gone to 2 series, because this was going to be, if they were able to get 2 games out of this was going to be a practical elimination on 2. If either of these teams got 2-0, they would be completely out of it. But again, just Willow Twisted Fantasy, keeping alive, kicking and screaming. Looking to take a look at that tiebreaker. I believe the tiebreaker is going to be for at least 2 slots. I believe 7 and 8 minimum, basically at this point, are going to be tie broken for.
Right.
Potentially. I mean, a lot of that does go on how the Panic and Lich series goes this week. If Lich are able to perform a Christmas miracle out of season and actually take one against Panic, then they will be secured, I believe, one of the slots. I believe they will be secured the number 7 slot. I wouldn't stake my house on it, though. I'm betting there's going to be at least 2 people in the tiebreaker. There could actually be more. I think there's a possibility that 6, 7, and 8 are all tiebreaker slots. That could be very interesting to see. There was a possibility, I think, that there might have been at one point 5, 6, 7, and 8 all in the tiebreaker. At the very least, there are 3 definitely confirmed teams now. Week 7, gonna change a lot. It's gonna be a lot on the line on week 7, so you boys better play your heart out. So as far as analysis goes, it's a very interesting little matchup. It seemed like the Baby Shlark lineup was a little better on paper, but unfortunately, a few things just really screwed them over here. For one, that Bane was excellent on Bane. That was not only the perfect pick for him, but he had such a high impact. It feels like every time you see a Bane here, he gets to do so much. And they had a good lineup as well for basically preventing Lincolns from being too effective on the Radiant as well. Spear Breaker, theoretically, could have tanked their lot, but Bane, very wisely, just pretty much ignoring it through fights. In fact, Dire in general, pretty much ignoring Spear Breaker through fights, which kind of took him out of the equation here. There wasn't really anybody on Willow Twisted Fantasy that Spear Breaker was that threatening towards, so they could just ignore him pretty much. Seemed like quite often as well, you just get caught in the arena at a bad time, just end up eating it.
Right.
The bans were good around Storm Spirit. They did ban well to pick him up, but unfortunately, ultimately speaking, they never, ever had an answer for TA. I don't think they had an answer for TA over the whole game. And while they did get a, I believe they did get a kill on her here. I actually was not looking at the board there. Had to look back. Well, they did get 3 kills on her here. There were 3 very tough kills, and mostly early on. Notably, they got a grand total of no kills on the Weaver.
Yeah.
Felt like they had to get US Danny killed to even get a chance to get a kill on Weaver, which is very unfortunate because they also needed him alive to kill Weaver. Like I said early on, you know, you had the unfortunate situation of, well, Willow Twisted Fantasy needs Bane to kill Storm Spirit. Well, Baby Shlark needs Storm Spirit to kill Weaver. So, they did have the trade-off there, though in practice, it just seemed like Storm Spirit was dying so much trying to keep his team up that really didn't mean anything. And the 5 Abaddon, it didn't work out. Just in practice, it really did not do them favors here. I would say it probably would have been better to just eschew the Spirit Breaker entirely and just make Abaddon the 3, ultimately. Making Abaddon the 3 would have given him the levels early on he needed to have more of a presence in fights, and in particular would have given him much earlier access to Curse of Avernus. I know I said the words Curse of Avernus like a million times in this cast, but trust me, that would have been really big. It would have been so big in some of the early fights for Abaddon to be able to Curse of Avernus, not just so he could, say, silence TA or Weaver, not just so he could personally chase on the Willow, and the additional levels would not just give him more staying power, more tanking power, more ability to actually survive, but being able to Curse of Avernus in combination with the Lifestealer passives with Ghoul Frenzy would have given them so much slow on individual targets that in a time before they were able to get Blink Dagger or what have you, it would basically be a necessity for like a Fear Bomb to come out to stop it. Well, guess what?
Yep.
You got 2 guys there who can Purge Fear Bomb. So, not Purge Fear Bomb necessarily, but 2 guys there who can dodge it in one way or the other. So that's not too great. Not too great. So I feel like Abaddon on the 5 here rather than Abaddon 3 and somebody else 5 was probably not in their favor. I think I would have pulled out there on that pick, but that's just me. What do you think?
I think Iceman's pretty scary.
Yeah, Iceman on TA there. I mean, in fairness, Iceman did do a good job, but he had such a great field in front of him. I talk a lot about the phrase "in spite of." I talked about "in spite of" in this game, in fact. Mars did really good in spite of the fact that he really did not have much to offer on paper. He was really very conscious about the weaknesses of his ult there and played well around them to the success of his team. If he didn't have to play around those weaknesses, he certainly would have done better for himself. But Iceman is in a great situation where he's on the other side of the coin. Iceman is sitting there where he's already a pretty good TA, but then he gets this walk in the park game where nobody can deal with the meld, nobody can deal with his shield. And then suddenly, what is otherwise a pretty solid TA, usually puts in a pretty good performance, is just clowning everybody in town. They definitely picked up the draft game. Aside from the Ramanola Mars, I feel like if they had picked somebody else rather than the Mars here, this would have gone from a game that was pretty solid to a game that was just not in question for them at all, really.
Right.
But then Mars was pretty early in the draft. But then Mars was pretty early in the draft, so they were able to counter him. It's how it goes. Though I do wonder if perhaps that did contribute to the success. Everybody picked around Mars so hard that there wasn't anything left to pick around Weaver or TA.
Yep.
It's an interesting debate. Not a debate we're having this video. If you or somebody else you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg for signups. It's too late to join the tournament. You can always be a stand-in. I mean, these guys had to throw a game because they couldn't find a stand-in. Another game got canned because they couldn't find a stand-in. So we are really looking hard for stand-ins here, right? It is not. Do not be shy about signing up if you're in the MMR range, if you have the opportunity, if you have the time, etc., etc., etc. Pre-show panel, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock
Saturday
Pacific.
night. But yeah.
Did I not say Saturday? What did I say?
Said Sunday night.
It's Saturday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain. Oh, there's Iceman coming online. 4 Pacific. 3 if you live in Alaska for some reason. 2 if you're just in, like, a couple of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I think it's 1 in Hawaii? I'm not sure. And then, like midnight in the UK, or whatever. It's whatever time wherever you live, right? It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be there, Randy will be there. You might even catch a whiff of the often elusive Ocelot. It'll be a great time. And that's it for now. I think that's it for this session. So we'll see you next time for, what is it, Panic and, who are they facing?
Sparta.
Panic and Sparta. Uh-oh. Bad news for Sparta again. Think Sparta might be able to upset Panic?
No.
I hope so. Come on, Sparta, I believe in you.